Namaste and welcome to the series on corporate governance. In our day-to-day life, we always talk about values and ethics. But do we really implement it? I mean, it's highly impossible to think of a situation like getting a ration card or a driving license or registration of property without paying any bribe. If that is the case of a common person like you and me, then just imagine what would be happening with a business house which has to get permission from hundreds of agencies, and that too in time and without paying any bribe.
I think it's not just business. We used to have an economy which had perennial shortages. For example, to get a gas cylinder, you had to wait in a queue. To get a telephone connection, to get a car, just about anything. And when there are shortages, shortcuts do take place. I have seen that in the West also. When tickets are not available for a show, black market comes up. I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying that does happen. We were all hoping that with our economy opening up, corruption will go down. But unfortunately, I don't see that it's come down. To be honest, requires a lot of effort. For example, I want to go to Tanzania, and for that I need a yellow fever injection. I'm told that unless I'm willing to pay 1,000 rupees, I will not get it, and I might be sent to Chennai. I might be told it's in short supply, but if I'm willing to pay 1,000, that injection will materialize. Now, it's very difficult for an individual to stick to her principle and say, I will not make this trip if I have to pay 1,000 rupees. A lot of people will take a shortcut.
Corruption exists everywhere. The point is, should we accept it or should we find a way to fight against it? At the same time, we also talk about ethics, whether they are at the individual level or at the corporate level. The concepts of governance and responsibility are always also spoken about. But the point is, have we understood what they really mean?
Now, what is a good governance? A good governance means transparency in the transactions, honesty in reporting, integrity of people who are working in the organization, and people-friendly approach so that everyone or anyone who wants to know about the company, he can approach the company and he can know how a company is performing.
To me, corporate social responsibility means that you give back to the society from which you take so much. Any corporate draws so much from any community, and a part of it, a small part at least, needs to be given back to society in terms not just money, but involvement of people, governance, looking after its employees, customers, supplier chain. To me, all that is part of CSR.
Corporate social responsibility is a widely discussed topic today. It deals with how companies manage their business practices effectively such that they create a positive impact on the society at large. It also addresses issues about a company's continual commitment towards behaving ethically while achieving economic growth. The issue is, does economic growth, profits, and ethics go hand in hand?
Ethics is the discipline of what is right or wrong, what is good or bad, the moral duty and obligations. Business ethics, on the other hand, concerns with truth and justice in business and its decisions. The various decisions that are made in the business, like decisions with respect to HR. In HR, to be more specific, when we are talking about maybe a case of sexual harassment, wherein an employee, a very important employee, is to be retained or is to be eased off because he has involved himself in a sexual harassment misconduct. Or it can be in the case of marketing decisions, where we suppress certain facts about a product or we overemphasize on the benefits of a product to a less informed customer. It can be in the case of the production function, wherein we do not incorporate all the safety features that are required for a product, okay, as per its designs.
The corporate governance has become a major issue because some companies are adopting unhealthy practices and have become manipulative just to earn more profits or to remain in the field of competition. As a result, we find that the corporate governance has become the need of the hour, and good practices are to be followed by the companies so that the stakeholders are not deceived. We have today the example of Satyam. Satyam gave a shock to all its stakeholders in such a way that everyone started worrying whether they should invest in the corporates or not. And here only we can see the earlier Satyam gave a shock, but when the Satyam governance was transferred to a new team, we find a total change today. And the change today is that Satyam has posted profits despite crisis. So when there is a crisis of identity, crisis of character, and the crisis of quality, the corporate governance comes to our rescue.
There are various dimensions to corporate social responsibility. From the past, business organizations have been showing concern towards the society.
About 4 years ago, Thermex board decided to put aside 1% of profit after tax and create a foundation. 3 years ago, we decided to focus on education for the underprivileged. So if each organization takes up a cause which is critical to our country, it would be wonderful.
The roots of corporate social responsibility can be traced back to the Indian religion and philosophy, which has always laid stress on karma, that is purpose rather than self. Even the Arthashastra provides an inside-out perspective of corporate social responsibility, which is development of the leader's self-conscience as contrasting to the Western philosophy.
Our Shastras and Puranas have always laid emphasis on our own human duties, while the Western world speaks about human rights. If we Indians perform our duties, then the issue of addressing others' human rights is always achieved.
Oh.